Okay, welcome to the definitions for the major arcana. And what I'm going to do is just read a little bit about what this definition of the card is, and then I'm just going to sort of free flow. I'm just going to talk about the card, and what comes to mind comes to mind. It's not going to be scripted. It's going to be as I would instruct someone in the moment. 0, the Fool card. New beginnings, childlike, youthful, innocent. They're not guilty. They're inexperienced, lack of concern, lack of awareness. When you get a card, the first thing you do is, just like what I did, you start running through your mind what this card represents. The first thing I would think is that they're starting something new. If it's in relation to a child, then I would say that the child is inexperienced. Maybe this is a new job they don't have experience in. They're a virgin, they're unassuming. And if it's an adult, then I would say, well, they're innocent of whatever it is that you think or someone else says that they did. They don't know anything about it. They're not cheating, or they're an optimistic person, always looking for new opportunities. But also, if it's in a negative situation, then you would say, well, they're being totally unaware of any dangers. So the definition of the card is always in flux and in flow. The reverse definition of the Fool card would be they're acting foolish. They've done something foolish. They feel foolish. They've made a poor choice. It shows a disability, a learning disability, mental or physical handicaps. It shows their vulnerability, that they're easily coerced, a simple person, low IQ. Number 1, the Magician. He is an adept. He has mastery, he's good at his craft, he's skilled. This is someone that you would want to hire. And if this card was reversed, of course, this is the person that you would not want to hire. This is the person you would not want to promote. And also, if it's in relation to an item like a vehicle or a house, and it was reversed, then you would say the house was poorly built. Whoever built the house did a bad job. Whatever company built the car, there's problems with the car. It's a male, maybe he has a beard, he's rugged, outdoorsman. He may be a type of a sage or a magi, in that he is able to work with energy to manifest. This is also a warning, if it's reversed, that there is black magic or satanic worship involved, or the people they are hanging out with is involved in black magic. Number 2, the High Priestess. She represents secrets, hidden information, private or personal information, confidential, classified, top secret, your social security number, any documents that could be used to steal your identity. She represents the source of information, the akashic field. If you want to get metaphysical about the card with the client, then they're tapped into their intuition, their psychic ability. They just know, a gut feeling. They're tapped into their higher consciousness. It could represent the reading itself, that they went to a psychic, or that they are a psychic. Reversed would be the exposing of secrets, the leaking of documentation, a whistleblower, information that was hidden becoming known, someone who you can't trust, that would maybe gossip. You can't trust them with the information. And you always too have to consider where the card is in the layout. If this is in the thinking position, it changes. If it's in the environment, it changes. In the past, it depends on where the cards are. If it's in the thinking position, then it may not be true. It may just be that they're thinking that the person is leaking the information, or maybe the person is planning on leaking the information. They could be worried about the information becoming known. They have something to hide. Meaning, if it's in the thinking position, it may or may not have happened. If it's in the environment, then of course there is something going on at the current moment. Card number 3 is the Empress. The Empress, when you see this card, it talks usually about a parent, a mother, paternity, pregnant woman, someone who is mothering. It's all that nurturing type of feeling. It could be talking about a babysitter, a caregiver in some form. It could even be a nursing home. It talks about the elder relatives, the mother, the grandparents, aunts and uncles, but usually it's of a female gender. We will go over the medical definitions of certain cards later. When this card is reversed, it could be a smothering mother. It could be a lack of the mother, a problem with the mother, a problem with the parents. problem with babysitters, there's a problem at the daycare center, there's a problem at the nursing home, the mother is sick, the baby is sick, the baby's being harmed, maybe even miscarriage, or they could be saying they're unable to get pregnant, they're infertile, they don't want the baby, they don't want to be a mother. Number 4 is the Emperor. This is a power card. This is a person that is in a position of authority. He could be the boss, he could be a leader of a country, he could be the president, he could be a CEO, directors, the one who hires and fires. They're in a position of authority. This could be a power of attorney. It could represent having legal authority, like being the administrator of a will. If you're talking about an individual, they're stern, they're controlling, they could be bossy, they're dominating, it's their way or the highway, they could be aggressive. And then if you take the card in its reverse definition, they've taken these negative aspects to the extreme. Number 5, the Hierophant. When you see this card, it's talking about established tradition, like churches. It's an institution that already has policies set. Then you would hear things like, that's not our policy, or that's against the policy. This could represent God in their life. It could represent their church, a Montessori, Catholic school, a synagogue, a mosque, an orphanage, any type of traditional institution really. It could be the Freemasons. And also it's in regards to race and religion, because it's talking about culture, established way of doing things, and this would mean that someone of a different type of a culture than the client or the individual in question. And many times when you get the card, you can take its reverse definition, which means against God or against tradition. It would be a homosexual person, could be, because it's going against tradition and the established norm, and against culture. It could be an alien being because they're of a different race and culture. It could mean a foreigner. So if it shows up in the layout as upright, you're free to take its reverse definitions if that's what you feel inclined to do and based upon other cards in the layout. For example, I was reading for a guy at work and I knew that he was homosexual, but when I did his readings, I got this card in a thinking position. What it was telling me is that he was wondering if I was going to be able to see in my layout that he was gay. Number 6, the Lover's card. When you see this card, it's talking about relationships, intimate relationships. It's a couple who are usually very close, and it could be young love. It doesn't necessarily mean they're married. And usually there is a sexual relation going on with the couple. They're very intimate. It's hard to see it in this card, but it does not necessarily mean that they are in a relationship. It could be two individuals that have come together that are balancing each other's energy. They're on the same page, they're building a foundation together, they're like-minded, and it does not have to do anything with sex. This card could represent the human race if you're talking about global issues on a higher level of reading and not just about individuals. It can also indicate any sexually transmitted diseases, whether the card is upright or reversed, and also whether the card is upright or reversed. It can mean sexual abuse. If it is reversed, it means that the relationship has broken up. They're having an argument with the partner. There may be a separation. There could be cheating. The card also represents any of the sexual organs. It could mean a sexual addiction, sex trafficking, a prostitute. Reversed would also mean a transvestite, same-sex partners. Card number 7, the Chariot. When you see this card, think of control in both the positive and negative aspects of control. In the positive aspect, it means the person has control of a situation. They are the one in the driver's seat. They are the one who's leading the direction. It can also represent a vehicle, any type of vehicle, whether it be a boat, a plane, skates, a motorcycle, having to do with transportation in any way, whether they might be a car salesman, own a car dealership. Reverse would mean that there is a problem with control. The person is being controlling, or the person does not feel they have control of the situation. It's not in their control. Or they're having a vehicle problem. Card number 8, the Strength card. When you see this card, it's talking about inner strength, having an inner calm, being centered, having control over oneself and one's emotions, be a peacemaker, a humanitarian, someone who guides gently, control of their inner beast, and that they lead with gentle persuasion. They would be a good mediator, problem solver. They have empathy and understanding. They show perseverance. It could also represent any type of an animal, from the most minute amoeba, virus, bacteria, all the way up to animals, pets, cats and dogs, birds, horses, cows, all the way up to large animals. And it can also represent allergic reactions, parasites, bacteria, and viruses. Any type of insect or infestation, fleas. It could be a veterinarian, someone who works with animals. They could be an animal trainer or groomer. They could work at a pet shop. Reversed, it could also mean they have panic attacks because it's the opposite of strength. They could have some sort of a weakness. They could be afraid. It would mean fear. It could even be mosquitoes. They could have a phobia, animal abuse, animal injured. And this is another one of the cards that you could read upright or reversed. Number 9 is the Hermit. This is usually talking about a guidance counselor, a teacher, an advisor, someone who can lead the way and shed light on a subject. They could be a guru, a teacher, a master. They're wise. It could represent someone who's gray-haired, looking into something, investigating something, searching for something, tracking, GPSs, glasses, microscopes, anything that is used to see. It can mean that something is being exposed, being under surveillance, surveillance cameras. I've never really seen it be a recluse. I have seen it represent an elder person, therapist, a clergyman. This could be a background check. Someone's looking into you, investigating you. It could represent anything that's old. Say if you're wondering if something is really an antique or not, then you could say, well, this is an old item. It's not new. It could be any type of lighting. Reversed would be getting a bad review, not being able to find something, not getting proper advice, not getting proper counseling, not looking into it, it's not being investigated, it's not being watched, trying to keep something from coming to light, a hidden agenda, not being exposed, person is being kept in the dark. And if you're talking about did someone make it to the light or not, upright, they did make it to the light, reversed, they did not make it to the light. And again, any type of vision problems, cataracts, needing glasses, having a lazy eye, being blind. The Wheel of Fortune. Robin Wood is strayed a little bit from the Rider-Waite deck with her Wheel of Fortune. She did not go into the astrological, alchemical, or numerology with her card. She just went straight to the crux of the card, which is that it has to do with fortune. This card means good fortune, good luck, you win. Winning the lottery, it's inheritance, things have turned around for the better. You win, whether it be monetary or winning a case, coming out on top in a situation. Things go your way. It also means gambling and lottery. Reverse could be a bankruptcy. You didn't win, you didn't get the inheritance, some sort of loss of money. Number 11, the Justice card. This is the legal system. It's clerks, courthouses, attorneys, certificates, tests, research, science, juvenile courts, child protective custody, governmental departments. But it also represents fairness in a case, that whatever the outcome is, it's going to be fair. Whoever is handling the case is going to be fair. You can deal with negotiations, balanced reason. It could be anyone in politics. It could be the bail bondsman. It could be any type of testing that requires certification. And reverse would mean the legal issues are not going in your favor, that you do not pass the certification or you do not win your case. Reversed would mean that they're not being fair or that the attorney is not the right attorney for you. Just be aware you can always change attorneys if you don't like the way that the case is going or if it's going too slow. Number 12, the Hanged Man. When you see this card, it usually means that things are not going anywhere. They're in limbo. Things are on pause, they're being delayed, things are suspended, they're being postponed. The card is supposed to mean that someone is making a sacrifice. They're putting themselves out for somebody else. are putting themselves out for a higher gain or for others. I can see how this would mean sacrifice if you were putting your hopes and dreams on hold for others. The other definition for this card is that there is an entity in the environment. They're not in their physical body. This could mean also the negative influence of an entity. Also, depending on surrounding cards, it could indicate an injury to the head or neck, suffocation, drowning, choking, beheaded. Could be they vomited, aspirated, they hung themselves, a major injury or trauma that leaves their life suspended between being with us and not being with us. Their life is hanging by a thread. Things could go either way. And the other thing is this could represent something that bites. I've seen it come up for snakes. You can see that his arms and his legs are incapacitated. Number 13, the Death card. This card can alarm the client, but it does not mean actual death. It means the coming to an end of an era or a situation is not being able to move forward with. The original path, or the path that they want, is being blocked and they're being redirected around. It could mean something has finished, ended, like a relationship or a business. Their career has come to an end. It's the end of the old way. Surrounding cards that are negative, like the Grief card or the Three of Swords or the Tower card, if you get 3 or more of those types of cards in the layout, then that would suggest an actual death. The reverse definition would be that it has not been completed, it is not finished, it's ongoing. There's been no changes have been made. It can mean stuck in a rut, nothing new is happening. It could indicate that death has not occurred as they feared. If you're maybe asking if a pet's lost is still alive, it could mean that they survived a near-death experience. If you're reading for someone who's passed, it could indicate that they don't recognize that they have died. It could be an earthbound. And for a medical reading, it would mean chronic or in a dormant state, like hibernating. Number 14, Temperance. This card is about balance and stability, being organized, things flowing easily, transforming, synchronizing, coordinating, things that are going to be in the process of unfolding. This card can represent patience. This is someone who can make things happen. They're manifesting. It's a fully awakened individual. They're working within higher realms. It could be their guardian angel or that they work with angels. This could be a chemist, an alchemist, someone who works with the building blocks of matter. Could represent something that is metallic. Being reversed means that they're stressed out, they're unable to cope, things are not flowing, they seem to be hindered, they may be very uncoordinated, they might be impatient. Card number 15, the Devil. This means all types of obsessions, dark influences, addictions, drugs, prescription drugs, street drugs. They're obsessing over something, they can't let it go. Any bad, toxic relationship, toxic food, toxic chemicals, poisons, could be pesticides. Reversed, it's the opposite. It means breaking free, letting go of outdated ideas, letting go of negative relationships. Someone who works against darkness. Number 16, the Tower card. This is ruin and devastation. Swift destruction. All your plans come to ruin. It's very dramatic. It's broken relationships. Any environmental disasters, you see the storms and the lightning and fire and flood and people falling, buildings being destroyed. Could be earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, loss of property, loss of status in life. Everything that you've been working on falls in ruins. If you begin to see this card in multiple clients' readings and it's in the environment especially, it could mean that there's going to be a local disaster. Reversed, it means escaping disaster, escaping ruin, a crisis has been averted. You may have come through a very harrowing time and now the sky has parted and things are looking better. You could have missed being involved in a disaster. Number 17, the Star card. This is about your hopes and dreams and desires and aspirations and goals. When it shows up, it means prospects are very bright, very positive. You're achieving what you desire. This is also an abductee card along with the Hierophant, meaning alien. Reverse would mean that all your hopes and dreams have been dashed, your desires and aspirations don't come true, your expectations weren't fulfilled. There's a big letdown, a loss of hope and promise, the end of a career that you loved. Number 18 is the Moon card. This card has to do with mental stability. It warns of mental instability, paranoia, Alzheimer's, strokes, TIAs for transient ischemic attack, amnesia, dementia, Alzheimer's, sundowners, memory loss, forgetfulness, fuzzy thinking, foggy thinking, illusions. It warns of deceit. Things are not what they appear to be. Scattered thinking, unable to concentrate. Reversed moon, unlike the number 15 and 16 for the devil and the tower. When the devil and the tower are reversed, things get better. But there are a few cards that when they're reversed, things get worse. And this is one of them. The moon card reversed means that they are really psychopathic. They're having hallucinations. They may be schizophrenic, serious mental disorders, psychotic breaks, misperceiving reality. They're very mentally disturbed. Number 19, the Sun card. This card represents happiness and jubilation, feeling free and uninhibited, childlike, just pure joy and happiness. It's also the Baby card. It could be a sunny location, summertime, being at the beach, being at the pool, playing in the sun, and it could even mean it's their birthday. The Sun reversed means the exact opposite. It would be unhappy, depressed, not feeling any joy. There's no joy in their life. They may feel disagreeable, grumpy, not a joy to be around this person. They're unpleasant disposition. It could mean sunburn, getting too hot, heat exhaustion, burned, a thing being overheated. Number 20, the Judgment card. This means coming through the fire, rebirth, good health, recovery, things made like new, overcoming adversity and trials and tribulations. You're going to come out smelling like a rose. Everything's going to be okay. Having good stamina, a good physical body, exercise, performing, gymnastics, dancing, anything to do with the body. Being revitalized, making a full recovery. It could mean the naked body, a stripper, a thing that has been refurbished is like new. They live. Reverse would be the opposite. It would mean poor health. They don't recover. They don't get their health back. They don't live. A thing that has not been restored to good quality. Say, for example, a car that's been in a totaled wreck. It's not a clear title, meaning title says refurbished. They're not able to restore it to its original form and function. And the last card, number 21, is the World card. It means completion. It means worldwide, international, interstate, flying, encompassing all, the whole, attaining a desired goal, self-actualization, triumphant, feeling limitless, and question if the person made it to the light or not. They would have made it to the light because this person is breaking free of the earth. Reversed would mean a thing is not complete, it's not completed, it's not the whole, there's some part of it missing, it's not over in regards to a relationship, for example. They don't make the flight, they miss the flight, there's no interstate travel, maybe they're not able to fly for legal reasons, or maybe they're on a no-flight list, or maybe they can't leave the state because of child support issues. It could also warn of a plane crash, something falling from the sky or from the earth. And reversed, if in question with them being in the light or not, this would mean that they were earthbound. They didn't make it to the light. The blank card, now this blank card is like one of these cards with nothing on it, which means the options are wide open, or the outcome is not set yet, or the outcome is unknown. And it depends on if it's in the past, present, or future, how you would read it. For example, if it's in the future, the outcome is still flexible. It can be changed. It's not yet determined. If it's in the past, then whatever was in the past has been erased. Maybe they can't remember, or there's no record of it. There's no evidence of it, starting with a clean slate. If it's in the present, that means they don't know about it. It's not in their awareness. It's been deleted, it's destroyed, it's a clean slate, it's very sterile and pure. It's been removed, it's disappeared, it's just not there. There's no clues, there's no evidence. There's no plans, or even it could say they have a clean conscience. If your deck didn't come with a blank card, you can use one of the spare cards and cut out a piece of paper and glue it on there, or however you want to do that.